It finally feels like a UFC fight week, guys. Like, I finally have that energy. Like, I have that feeling that I'm upon something great, guys. Ankalaev versus Pereira 2, UFC 320 is upon us, guys. A couple days from now, and Mr. Kenny, of course, the card that no one cares about. I only got 2 fights wrong. 10 for 12, not bad. And I'm glad I didn't go 100% on that card because I saved it for this card. Like, I only went 10 for 12 last card so I can make sure I get the perfect score on this card, and that's what we're going to do. We did our research, we did our logical basis, brother. We're going to get rid of the 99% allegations, and we're going to bring the 100% allegations, guys, starting from the banger fight of the night. I can't wait for this fight, man. All right, bro, jokes aside, Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Not much film was went into this one. This is kind of an obvious fight to pick because Walker has not fought in, I believe, 2 years. And I swear the last person she fought and lost to was Lasman Luciendo, who was like probably 16 at the time and just beat her up by decision. So, like, I'm not going the girl who hasn't fought in years and who lost against a 16-year-old damn near. She was probably like 18 around the time. My point is, like, she didn't look good in that fight. She looked horrible. She's been gone for too long. Veronica Hardy did not look good in her recent fight either, but at least she's known for being somewhat not horrible. I don't know. It's probably going to be a primary striking match. If there is wrestling, I wouldn't be surprised if Veronica Hardy's the one initiating it, but I got Hardy by points because finishing a women's WMA fight, brother, mama, that's just not happening. Now, this fight's interesting, man, because I feel like the easy thing to say is, Austin Vanderford, who I think is a big favorite. I don't know what the odds are, but Ramiz Barhimaj, okay, let me not butcher his name because I actually talked to the guy before. Matter of fact, last time I talked to him after his Billy Ray Goff fight when he was like a huge underdog, and I put money against him. I even told him to his face I put money against him, but I think I'm done doubting him. Like, we talked a little bit, and he was like, yeah, like, you sleep on me, you get slept on.
He's good. I didn't know Ramiz was giving me all that good. My fault.
Hey, man, you sleep on me, you get slept on.
You're a good fighter. I seen that last performance. That was great.
Thank you. Appreciate it, champ.
And I was like, listen, I'm not sleeping on you no more. And I feel like he's going to get it done against Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford is going to be the favorite. He has heavy hands. He has a good finishes. I believe he finished his last fight. Whereas same with Ramiz, though. He got the guillotine choke. So Ramiz is dangerous on the feet, though. Ramiz is the type of high guard. He'll trade with you. Someone probably might get knocked out in this fight, but I'm going to just go with my boy Ramiz, I'm going to go him by KO or points. I think he gets it done. I think he can stop Austin Vanderford, who's really tough. He's a huge 170er. Like, he used to fight at 185, so he's really big and wide paws. Like, he's thick for the weight class, though. Going to be a hard fight, but I just feel like the words, when he told me to stop sleeping on him, it just resonated with me. I feel like I think he's going to break Vanderford as the fight elongates. If it ends in the first round, it might be a Vanderford win, but I trust Ramiz, bro. Don't let me down, bro. I'm literally trusting you now. This is me putting my trust in you. Don't make me look a little bit ugly. Like, I always look a little ugly, but not very ugly. I'm a handsome guy, kind of. But yeah, I'm going Ramiz, man, the underdog for this. He's a big underdog, but I'm going him because, I don't know, I guess I trust him. All right, next fight. Punalhe Soriano. Let me just stop trying to... my name skills are not the best. Versus okay, should I try it? All right, versus Nikolai Veretennikov. That's actually really easy to say, Veretennikov, who's from Ukraine, who's actually a pretty solid fighter, but he got finished by the guy I was just talking about, Austin Vanderford. I believe by ground and pound. He kind of like gave up on himself. He could have got out that position. He kind of got lazy and just got ground and pounded. And Soriano's coming off a win where he looked kind of tough in his fight. Like, I believe, what was it against Petrosky? It was against, I don't know who it was against. I believe it might have been Petrosky. I could be completely wrong here, but I remember in the fight, he was marauder maxing forward. And he was kind of looking tough. He had good low kicks. He mixed up things pretty well if needed. He's primarily going to strike with you, though, but if he needs to, I've seen him grapple. I feel like it's going to be a Soriano win in this one. I think Veretennikov might even get finished, bro. He's susceptible to getting finished, bro. He doesn't really have that dog mentality like I feel like he should have welterweight, and I feel like Soriano's going to run through him because of that. So I got Soriano. It could go to decision, but I could see Veretennikov giving up on himself. So let me go Soriano. I'll probably put KO points if you use FanDuel, but, I'd probably say he might get Veretennikov out of there. Veretennikov just can't handle the pressure and pace of Soriano. Soriano gets it done regardless. So I'm going Soriano by whatever decision, I guess. I don't know. KO or points. Just cash that in. Patchy Mick. No head movement. No head, but he's going against someone else making their UFC debut. See, Patchy Mix was thrown against the Wolves, and this is literally the UFC feeling sympathetic, because no way you're going against Jacob Wakala. I actually seen this guy. He's like a blonde hair guy. Like his striking's he's all right. He doesn't stick out to me like anything. crazy. I don't know what promotion was that. I don't know if it was Bellator. I don't even care. I don't really watch anything outside the UFC. From the highlights I was seeing from him, he looks very mediocre, which I feel like is a perfect fight for Patchy Mix. Listen, if Patchy Mix loses to somebody making their UFC debut, do you know how embarrassing that's going to be? Patchy Mix striking, even before he came to the UFC chat, I remember his striking. It looked so bad to me, but he would kind of strike with guys. You know, even though he looked like his lack of head movement, he just never really got beat up the way he got beat up on his debut. But I feel like in this fight, they're giving him a bone. Hopefully, this is a test Patchy Mix should pass. If Patchy Mix doesn't pass this, mama, you literally pack it up, do this, and then Dana White throw him to the corner shop, bro. Because if Patchy Mix loses, this one is over. I'm curious to see if Patchy Mix is going to try to offensively wrestle, because I feel like his takedown attempts are literally like a piss poor attempted body locks, and it never works to his advantage. So if he's going to try to rely on that no head movement striking, he actually might lose to this nobody again. But I'm going to go Patchy Mix. Hopefully he can, I don't know, mix in something better than those strikes, because your BJJ needs to come in handy, bro, because your striking is very mid to me and you have no head movement. So hopefully Patchy Mix wrestles and finishes this guy. If you do not finish him either, this is just embarrassing for you. Finish the guy making his UFC debut. Make him look like you on your UFC debut. Simple as. Moving on, dude. Damn, Patchy's on the early prelims, you know. Even a girl's fight's ahead of him in the early prelims. Macy Chiasson, who actually looked horrible in the last fight against, I believe it was Kelton Vieira. And then Yana Santos, who's just not, she doesn't really stick out to me as a good opponent. You know, this one's weird because they're both shitty. Like, it's a battle of the who's more shitty. It's probably going to primarily take place on the feet, which is why I'm going to lean Chiasson, because I feel like her length is going to help her out to stick and move. She tried to stick and move against Kelton, but Kelton utilized a clinch to her advantage, kind of her strength, where I feel like Yana Santos might just strike with her, you know. Santos was like, she was hyped up a little bit at a point of her career, I feel like, but she's kind of just a mid-Russian who's going to probably go in there try to strike with Macy, who's a little bit longer, who's going to probably use her stick and move style and outpoint Santos. So I got Chiasson by points. That's the best way I could say. I don't really want to take too much time talking about these ugly. Right? Okay, I had no reason to call, bro. I don't need to take too much time on these beautiful women, you know. Nah, jokes aside, I have nothing to take. Yeah, South Korea, yeah, baby, yeah. JooSang Yoo. 감사합니다. 안녕하세요. Ji Lumin Kenny Mida. My name is Kenny, and this is my South Korean brother, you know, JooSang Yoo. All right, jokes aside, guys, and this is not just the K-drama watcher in me when I say JooSang Yoo by KO. He's going to counter him with some kind of check hook. Guys, his check hook counter, dale, cinema, brother. Muy bonita. I don't know how I'm speaking Spanish now. I don't know how to say good. And I don't know how to say good in Korean. That sucks. I'm supposed to be fluent. But yeah, Daniel Santos is going to be game. And he's always game. He always shows up in his fights to perform. But JooSang Yoo, guys, his patience. But he's like patient in the right times. He doesn't like waste his patience. He'll wait for you to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake and you're out of position, he will counter you and put you to sleep. His last lean back KO was so clean. I think it was a hook, you know. He leaned out the way and threw a hook at full strength and put him absolutely to sleep, bro. It was the Indian guy, I think, Jekka something. I don't know if he's Indian or Pakistani, but I think his name is Jekka. You guys know Jekka. The Jekka hype train was crazy. But JooSang Yoo, man, my Korean brother gets it done. So we're Jack in South Korea. Shiba Island, indeed. We are Jack in South Korea, though. I like JooSang Yoo, you know, because he's on the Kenny watch list in featherweight. Maybe because I want him to do good. He is undefeated. He's going to be 10-0 after this fight against Daniel Santos, who's a good test for him. Because, you know, I haven't seen much of Sang Yoo in the later rounds because he usually puts people away early. But it'll be interesting, man. He has aura, you know. Korea needs someone since the Korean Zombie, and I think JooSang Yoo is. He plays a lot of tribute to Korean Zombie. I believe he came out to the Zombie song as well. But yeah, we're jacking JooSang Yoo, guys, and I mean every second of this when I say keep your eyes open, especially in the first round, because he could put Santos to sleep if Santos is going to be that aggressive Brazilian he usually is. But we're jacking the Sang Yoo train. Sang Yoo train. Ay, Shiba! Look at this card, you know. This is why I love the UFC, brother. Handsome, strong, intelligente people. And I don't want to see the comments about can he come back to Afghanistan. Guys, I was literally just in Afghanistan training with Fareed the other day. And I got him prepped for Chris Guiterrez, who is going to be game. Chris Guiterrez is one of those guys, who are always going to come with a fight. This is a good test for Fareed Basharat. But I told you guys already, Fareed Basharat's a future champion. Not only is Fareed a future champion, but Fareed, I was going to say handsome, but not only that, Fareed is one of the most skilled bantamweights. Umar's the most skilled, then Fareed, and then Marab. I got to say it out. Is Fareed's skill set. He's a little bit, I don't want to say undersized, but his physique, it looks like he could add a little bit more muscle, so he probably struggle with the Marab. But he's eventually going to be champion, guys. 13-year-old, he's the legit Farid brother, like the Basharat brother. Listen, Javid and Farid aren't in the same cloth. They're not cut from the same cloth, despite being brothers. They're not. Farid is just his kicking dynamics. His strength in the clinch, despite looking like undersized. Who's that big Brazilian he went against? I don't know if it's Victor Hugo. It was some huge juice guy to the gills, and Farid was still looking very strong in the clinch. Farid's understanding of grappling, body weight transfer, striking, he's just very complete. He reminds me of Zabit Magomed Sharapov, it's a weight class under and a little bit more, cool. Jacking the Afghanistan flag. I'm backing my boy Basharat in this fight. I think he puts the beats on Guiterrez like Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of base. He's going to be too quick for Guiterrez, who's probably going to try to high guard and walk him down. Guiterrez is not going to try to wrestle Farid, because if he does, he's going to lose every single scramble. I wonder if Farid's going to try to wrestle him. Farid's just one of those fighters who fights intelligently too, guys. Like, he's not going to just waste his time striking if he could take you down, because he'll mix it up very well. That's what makes him great, and that's why I know he's a future champion. That's why I say things like this on this channel. I want you to believe it. Yes, Umar's great right now. It's probably going to be his time to shine sooner rather than later. But after Umar has his shine, Farid's right there. He's still in his 20s. He's young, strong, and he's jacking Afghanistan really well. So I'm going Basharat for this fight, and I think I don't know. Guiterrez might survive to a decision, so I might go Farid by decision, but honestly, submission could be a possibility. Sub or points for Farid, man, and he could knock him out maybe, but Farid's power is not that crazy. But I'm going Farid Basharat no matter what way you slice the cake. He's going to beat Chris Guiterrez by masterclass. All right, this one's interesting too. You got Edmund Shahbazyan and Andre Muniz. This is not a hard fight to predict for me. Muniz is coming off a loss, whereas I feel like Shahbazyan is coming off like a vintage Shahbazyan performance. I think Shahbazyan's finally starting to understand himself, get back into that old Shahbazyan who was once supposed to be a title contender. He's not going to be contending in this middleweight division. But way back when, he was that guy. My guy. Not my guy, but that guy. I think Edmund Shahbazyan gets it done against Andre Muniz. I think he does it pretty easily. Does he finish him? Maybe. I think maybe Shahbazyan by KO. I might take a risky one like that. Shahbazyan by KO. He's either going to be KO points, but I'm going to say Shahbazyan KO. I think gets rid of Andre Muniz, who's going to probably come forward and eat something crazy. Look at this. Yo, if I could say something, you know what this card is? It's like people who know me and know my channel, but we got JooSang Yoo on the early the prelims. We have Farid Basharat. Now we have Atiba Guiterrez, guys. Atiba Guiterrez and Ozzy Diaz, man. Ozzy Diaz, your time has come, kid. Ozzy Diaz loses to power punchers. It's if you look at his losses, every single loss is just to a power puncher. Unfortunately, going against Guiterrez, who he's like my age. He's like 23. He's young. Like, I know I'm a little bit bigger, maybe handsome than him, but he's strong too, I guess. He maybe a little bit look good like me. I don't know, brother. He's from my neighboring country, Cameroon, where he's cut from Ngannou's cloth, Listen, Cameroon, Nigeria, we're one. Like, we're basically the same country, Maybe we just have a little bit better jollof rice and stuff, but Guiterrez's game, man. He's going to come with the Guiterrez killer mindset, killer mentality. He's going to put it on Diaz, who's not very durable against hard punchers, but he's durable against bots. Guiterrez not a bot. He's going to bring the pressure. He's going to put it on him, beats on him, Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of bass. When I say lots of bass, I mean lots of bass. Yo, what's up? You know I'm tough. I won't give you $1, but you can hold a buck. Hey, Sheba. I think Guiterrez puts it on him to a crazy thing, like a crazy beatdown. So afterwards, like, oh my God, give him a title shot. No one's going to say that, but no, literally not a soul's going to say that. But I am hyped that West African MMA, we had our reign with Usman, Izzy, and Ngannou, and I think we have a second generation coming. This guy's 23. Like, I think he's younger than me by a couple months too. Like, dude's 23, guys. Like, he has a lot of time, but I feel like I don't want to fast track him. I want to give him appropriate fights to continuously build up. I feel like this is a good one. Maybe after this, and maybe one more little bit of bot or tough, durable bot, then give him someone a little bit good, maybe handsome, strong, and then see how he does. But Guiterrez seems very confident. I hear him talking about Izzy, like he can knock out. Hey, listen, he's saying stuff. But as a West African, I'm going to support my West African brother all the way to his championship fight if he has the opportunity. He might get his... I wonder if Diaz is going to try to wrestle him. Diaz has never shot a takedown in the UFC, but you never know. Maybe he just tries something. I want to see Guiterrez get tested in the wrestling. Probably not going to be this fight. Give me Guiterrez first round knockout. All right, out of the prelims. This one's an interesting one, guys. I like this card. I like this card. I'm jacking. I am. Abus Magomedov, Joe Pyfer. Listen, brother. Abus has been looking better. You know, Bruno Ferreira fight looked good. You know, his endurance looks like I don't know if I could say his endurance is getting better or his pacing is getting better. I think his issue has always been pacing. But when he goes hard in the first round, he folds. You know, Pyfer kind of had a pacing issue in his only loss in the UFC, I believe. But Pyfer's also a tank, you know. This is a weird one. I think about this fight. Pyfer seems a little bit more dynamic in the hands. I know Abus Magomedov's going to come with a heavy kicking approach. I think Abus might gas himself in the first round. Because Abus could just keep him at distance the whole time, trying to kick fight, you know. But in the hand, the advantage in the hands is so significant for Pyfer. Like, he just has way heavier hands, and I think the hands are going to be the decision maker here. And I actually think Joe Pyfer is going to finish Magomedov, man. I think he's going to do it in round 2. I think it's going to be a second round knockout by Joe Pyfer. I think Magomedov starts looking good the first maybe 2-3 minutes using kicks. But eventually Joe Pyfer will get close enough to start trading. And then when they start trading, I feel like the hand advantage in the speed and power is going to go to Joe Pyfer, which leads me to believe he's going to win. Also, he's not going to wrestle. If Abus wants to try to wrestle Pyfer, I just don't see it going his way. Well, he will take him down maybe, but I think Pyfer is really good at defensive grappling to a point where you shouldn't be too concerned in the wrestling for Abus to just hold him there like he did against Bruno Ferreira, who has no kind of grappling. I got Joe Pyfer by KO. I think he finishes Abus Magomedov, who's my guy, but just not quite real Magomedov. You know, there's a Magomed on this card we'll talk about, but not him. Okay, Josh Emmett, power puncher, you know, versus Youssef Zalal, the Moroccan rotator. Did I just give the Moroccan rotator? He was sticking rotator around the ring, man. He just fought Calvin Kattar, where he literally showed his Moroccan rotating abilities. Listen, he's gonna stick and move against Emmett. It's gonna be a copy and paste of Youssef Zalal's last fight with Kattar. He's gonna do enough and then circle a lot. Emma's going to be chasing him, not landing anything sufficient. Kind of like I can't even speak. Kind of like what Lerone did to Josh Emmett. Just stick and move clinic. I don't see him doing anything else. I don't see the need of him doing anything else. He's probably going to just stick and move max and just school Josh Emmett, who's probably not going to be ready for someone who's as quick and as athletic as Youssef Zalal. It's probably going to be a frustrating fight for him, but also Youssef Zalal is very long range. He's going to use a lot of kicks in this fight. Poor Josh Emmett, probably getting masterclass tear, and probably in the middle of the fight, you're going to see Josh Emmett doing things like this. Oh, why are you running, dude? Come on, dude. Bring it in. Picking Josh Emmett is just picking out Puncher's chance, and I'm not doing that. So give me Youssef Zalal and forget. And Zala's been in there with some heavy hitters, man. Shout out my boy Ilya Toptorio. But yeah, Zalal gets it done. Now this fight, I actually just did research right before I clicked record, because this one was interesting. I was really 50-50 on this one, and I'm more confident than ever, I guess, after the research I just did, the film work. Listen, both had mutual opponents in Jamal Hill. Khalil dominated Jamal, whereas Yuri didn't. Yuri was a little bit more back and forth, but Yuri is clearly way better than Jamal, and Jamal had success in ways that Khalil doesn't do. Now let me just say this: Khalil's gonna win this first round, or the first couple. Like, he is gonna win. Khalil is if you give Khalil respect, Khalil will shit on you. Like, he will pick you apart, then blitz in, then he's going to reset. The reset's the problem. Now, you can't really reset against Yuri because he's always feinting and making you on edge and making you work. That's the problem in this fight. Who's more skilled? Khalil. You know? If this is a 3-round, it's a 3-round fight, which is a little bit. This is where the conflict starts. 5-round fight, I'm saying Yuri, and I'm laughing at anyone picking Khalil. 2-round fight, nigga said 2 round. Yeah, bro, they changed the rules. 2-round fight, I would laugh at anyone even considering Yuri Prochazka. Now in the middle though, you know, because now we talking 3 rounds, brother, not 5 like Jamal, Khalil, you know, 3. Yuri understands to put the pedal to the metal in a 3-round fight. The 3rd round specifically is where you can start seeing people who have forward pressure break Khalil. But is it enough to finish him? I don't know. The second half of the second round is going to be the most telling. I don't think this fight ends in the first round, by the way. So if there's like something saying over the first round or like over 1.5, probably go over 1.5. What's going to be interesting is a change of pace in the second round halfway through. And that's where I believe Yuri Prochazka is going to start pulling through, you know. I think Yuri's a little bit difficult to deal with because someone like Khalil, who banks on blitzing, backing up, resetting. The thing about that is when Yuri's just doing this stupid shit, hitting dance moves, you know, fucking doing Taibo and all this weird shit, and then jumping in. Plus, he has his degree, so he'd probably be reading the book while, like, the nigga, he's a little bit more smart. It's going to be problematic for Khalil. As well as rewatching the Jamal Hill fight, he changed his style from the Pereira fight. He does a lot of pull counters. Like, you would throw, he would just get out the way and then pull counter you. Like, he's very reactive. Matter of fact, more reactive than usual. He actually improved significantly in that Jamal Hill fight. And I feel like I like that fight style. Yes, he keeps his hands down, is dangerous, but the reactivity, because there's points that Yuri, and if you look at his previous fights before the Jamal fight, he would just throw his whole body back to avoid it, but he won't really step back and counter. And the Jamal Hill fight, he just pulled his punch just out the way, and then he'll come back. I like that version of Yuri, and I think that's going to be problematic for someone like Khalil Rountree. I'm going Yuri Prochazka in this fight, guys. I'm going him by KO or points. The KO could happen. Maybe I think he finishes Khalil in the second or third, man. I think it's going to be a finish. I'll go Yuri by KO. The safest thing to do if you use FanDuel is go Yuri by KO or points, but Yuri's going to be a little bit too much for Khalil after Khalil wins the first round. I think the pressure of Yuri is going to disrupt that rhythm that Khalil needs to be able to piece people up. Because you play it pretty like Jamal Hill, you're going to get battered. If Yuri for some reason plays it pretty, he's going to get battered. But I feel like Yuri's mental, like how goofy he usually is actually going to play to a positive in a fight against Khalil Rountree. So I'm going Yuri Prochazka. So yeah, it's a hard fight. This is the most 50-50 fight on the card probably. But I'm going the handsome, strong Czech Republican. Which brings me to the co-main event. Now, I just dropped a video yesterday. Video has something to do with, oh my God, Corey could win because Merab's cocky. Now that propaganda is posted and people are picking Corey to win on in the odds. Now that video is posted, so I can make sure the odds sway a little bit, so Merab gets a little bit. Nah, listen, guys, it's a tough ask for Corey. What I said in that previous video, though, has a lot of truth to it, guys, where I don't like how confident Merab is in his striking, and I don't like how he's saying things along the lines of this is going to be 90% a striking fight, because he will lose, obviously, if that's the case. Now, here's the difference that I realized. Yes, it'll be hard for him to win. Like Bilal, and I kept using Bilal and JDM, but Bilal and JDM, they have their similar, like Bilal and Merab have their similarities, but I feel like the difference is when Bilal fails takedowns, he kind of moves out the way and resets and like goes back to striking. When Merab fails takedowns, he's just going to hold you against the fence and he's not going to let go. And Corey's going to work, but I can see Corey falling to the lull of just not being strong enough physically to actually get Merab off him. So he's doing a lot of work on the fence and not work trying to get him separated, but he's not getting the separation he wants. It's going to lead to him fatiguing and lead to Merab start to build. And that's when problem little bit commence. And when problem commence, the commencing starts the problem. And once the commencing starts a problem, that's when Merab can start taking the edge in this fight. I am going to lean Merab, not lean. I'm going to go Merab in this fight. It is a harder fight than Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I want everyone and their mothers to understand this. Sugar does not have the grappling of Corey. Sugar's not as athletic as Corey. Sugar's not as gifted as Corey, point blank, period. I've been saying, guys, even when Sugar was champion, I said if Corey and Sugar fought, Corey's schooling him. It's obvious. So it's a harder fight than Sugar, easier fight than Merab. Easier fight than Umar. Like, it's going to be easier to beat Corey than it is to beat Umar, but right below that, the second hardest stylistic matchup for Merab Dvalishvili would be a Corey Sandhagen, if you ask me. Like, who's the second hardest fight, Kenny? Corey Sandhagen, of course. He's dynamic, he's explosive, he has good knees, My only problem with him is the physicality advantage that someone who's 5'6" and fucking compact is going to have over a 5'11" lanky guy like Corey. I remember in the Umar fight, he was trying to pull down Corey. Corey did a good job staying up, but Umar's physicality is he has a little bit of a thin build as well for the weight class. But I could see Corey starting well, but eventually Merab starting to make him wilt and make him quit. If Merab fights like Merab, of course, if he fights just dumb, he's going to struggle. But I think Merab Dvalishvili gets it done, guys, and I think he beats him by points. I don't want to say submission. I know he submitted Sugar, and I know I predicted him to submit Sugar. I was one of the few people. Kenny, what, Merab by submission? He's not going to submit Corey because I feel like Corey's understanding of BJJ like elevates Sugar. So I'm going to go Merab by points against Corey Sandhagen in a very great fight, competitive fight. Might be one of the closest fights Merab had, because outside of Merab versus Umar, he had really no close fights because he kind of just goes in there and dominates when he wins. But this is going to be one of the close fights that Merab actually goes against. So give me Merab by points, but Corey will be game. Which brings me to the main event of the evening. Guys, I'll be real. I've been thinking and I've been seeing Alex Pereira, like, he looks serious this time around, to the point where I can't believe I'm going to say this. Alex Pereira, and I listen, you guys are going to say I'm trolling. I'm being so serious. And you guys think I'm weird for saying this. People are going to call me fake. I think Alex Pereira actually lasts longer than 2 minutes. I think he gets into the 4th minute and gets knocked out. Like, I don't know where you thought I was going with this. Listen, bro, there's just no... Shiva. Listen, man. I tried to to make sure I understand how this fight goes, I put myself in Alex Pereira, like a hardcore Alex Pereira like fan shoes. So I was like, to be honest though, in the first fight he said he was 40%, and I was like, he probably wasn't ready technically mentally, and I also thought like he probably was a little bit, maybe, I don't know, nervous and anxious. So once I did all that in my head, I was like, listen, he only lost because he was nervous. And once I came to that conclusion, I was like, okay, so now how can he win? And I started to think to myself, like, how can Pereira actually win? If I had to think of this in a logical manner, how can he win? And then I found myself, and I wrote up a great game plan. I'm going to tell you guys the game plan I wrote up. I said, kid you not, this is what I wrote up. I said, avoid the boxing, utilize low kicks, and utilize circling motion. I swear to you, and you guys probably think I'm rage baiting. That's the plan I devised of like how he could beat him in a rematch. And then I was like, wait, isn't that not what he did in the first fight? Is that literally not what he... mama. So that when I realized like he literally fought the best possible first fight and still got beaten so bad, I realized that puncher's chance was the first thing that came to my mouth. And then I was like, puncher's chance? Has Pereira ever one punch knocked out somebody? And I was like, oh, Jamal Hill. Oh, wait, he didn't one punch Jamal. He knocked Jamal Hill down like Yeri did and all these other guys did, but he just followed up with some brutal ground and pound, and that's what put him out. And I was like, oh, yeah, but he one punched Sean Strickland. I rewatched it. He hit Sean Strickland with a left hook. He falls. Sean tries to get up, and he falls up like a straight punch. And then even after that, the fight stopped, which is rightfully so. But Sean gets back to his feet. He's like, oh, fuck, dude, I got knocked out. And I was like, there's got to be a fight. I looked at the Blachowicz fight, and I was like, wait, he didn't even win that fight. Then I started to think, like, Jesus, he doesn't have one punch power. And I was like, oh, shoot, Adesanya 5th round. He didn't even knock down Adesanya for that finish. Adesanya was still standing, moving his head. So, and then the notion of one punch slowly started to slip my mind. This is when I started to realize, Shibal, it's like, it's one of those, it's one of those things that Pereira goes in this time around, either fights like how he always fights, or fought the first fight, low kick and run, or he grows balls, tries to one punch Ankalaev, which ultimately is going to lead to Ankalaev, who's the best counter boxing in UFC's history in light heavyweight division, knocking him out so brutally. It looks like the Cutelaba rematch when Cutelaba came forward and just got boom, boom, and dropped. Alex Pereira can't beat Ankalaev. If they fought 50 times, Ankalaev wins 54. How did he win the 4 extra times? Don't ask me. Look at the press conferences for each of those fights. He probably won that too. The thing about Alex Pereira and Ankalaev is just not a fair fight. I almost feel a little bit upset that it's legal to book a fight so one-sided. I'm actually very annoyed at the UFC for allowing someone to basically be a lamb to the slaughter intentionally. Why are you going to intentionally make these two fight knowing that the guy in the yellow shorts with no hairline over there who spams Shama, who like plays with Nina Drama's feet on stream, has no chance? Like, you can't set that up. It should be, I want to set up a legally binding thing that could separate this fight and make sure it doesn't happen. If Pereira's best chance at not getting embarrassed is not showing up or finding a way to cope, how bad he took this loss is showing he's already mentally broken. He doesn't know whether to shave his head or keep his hair or change his shorts or none of it. He's asking everyone, like, what should I do with my shorts and my hair? Show up how you want to show up to get knocked out. However you look in that fight, Pereira, this is a message to you. Maybe your son could watch this. Maybe I'll send him the link to this video. This is my message to you. Show up how you want to show up. Just know that however you show up, you're going to be going viral on every social media platform for getting knocked out in that attire with that haircut. That's my message to Alex Pereira. And the truth of the matter is, I'll be deemed as a hater. I'm going to be deemed as someone who just doesn't know what they're talking about. But when I say Alex Pereira has no chance of beating Magomed Ankalaev, I mean that with every fiber of my being. No matter what you throw at Ankalaev, it's not going to be enough to beat him. Ankalaev could beat you with one hand behind his back, with one foot. Ankalaev could have no hairline and still beat you. There's nothing Alex Pereira could ever do to beat Magomed Ankalaev, especially at UFC 320. So you might as well just not show up to the fight because that's his best bet. But let me know what you guys think. Because maybe I just might be, Kenny, you're delusional again. Ankalaev knocks out Alex Pereira the second time around, and that's the only way the fight goes. I know that just as much as you do. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. That's it for these predictions, and I know I'm going to go 100%. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys a good lay to go. Just trust my word for this. Go Magomed Ankalaev, right? Magomed Ankalaev. Give me Guiterrez by knockout. Farid Basharat. Oh, hold on. I like this. I like that. And the last one, fuck it, Pyfer money line, and then lock it in, brother. And that's gonna get you the most money ever. That's it for me. God bless. 2, 3, 4.